Ira Epstein with your financial market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Wednesday, the 23rd of July, 2025, and we're sitting here about 5:55 p.m. Remember that I'm out of my studio, will be for another week or so, and still trying to get these all done for everybody and make as much sense as I can out of the markets. And what you're seeing tonight is we're seeing the earnings come out, and some companies are getting misses, others are doing great, and that is what's moving the market afterwards. And I use afterwards being after the market and why you're getting some of these moves in it. In the way of tariff news, the big question is, can the EU, European Union, get anything done with the president before August 1st? I still question, I'm not hearing anything on Canada or Mexico. I don't understand why I'm not, but I should be. And there'll be a number of countries, the president said today, that see tariffs coming up between 15 to 50%. We know Brazil's the 50% country, but the president said there could be more than Brazil. So I guess if you get him mad, you know where you're headed with this, and that's how you have to play it. When I look at the market now, in terms of the news for tomorrow, we get the Chicago Federal Reserve June National Activity Index, and that's at 7:30. Jobless claims come out 7:30. You get a small break, and at 8:45, S&P Global Group, they'll release their preliminary July manufacturing sector PMI. That's the first number traders will look at on the inflation that we've had in a while. U.S. June new home sales data is going to come out at 9 o'clock. Now, the home builders have been on a tear to the upside over the past 48 hours. Will these numbers show it, or are people just buying, hey, it's going to happen sooner or later, the market's got too cheap, they baked in all the bad news? That's what I think really went on. I'm not looking for June new home sales to be stellar. If they are, I'll be surprised. The KC Fed manufacturing composite and business activity will come out. Wow. You know, we saw that the Philly and Empire numbers were good, but the Richmond stunk in the manufacturing. So what are these going to be? That'll be interesting to see. So another day of new highs in some of the indices. Tonight, they're giving some of that back. Gold continues to lose to silver. The dollar's breaking down again as the euro is able to hold over the 118 level. Was that no more than a correction that we saw over the past 2 weeks? Hard to tell. Bonds and notes just sort of drifting right here as the market right now gets ready to hear more things from the Fed next week when we get the FOMC meeting. So when we step over and we look at the chart action, you can't argue that on a closing weekly basis, you're making new highs each week. I mean, the market doesn't back off much. It just continues to go. In terms of a daily bar, you're making new all-time highs tonight, so the market's doing very well. The pattern has been one of higher lows on the swing line. Remember what a swing line is. You connect the current bar to the prior. I have a set of 5 rules that I teach in my charting course, and I think you'll find it really ends up being very, very neat in the way that it works with it. And you can see that you've got a pattern of higher lows with the apexes and higher highs. That's called a bull trend. The market is over the 18-week average of closes, which is in turn over the 100, which is over the 200. So the markets are all lined up in a bullish scenario, and what's halting the rally, if you can call it that, is hitting the Bollinger Band and running into that number. The positive is you have an embedded reading. Embedded is when the slow stochastic numbers get over 80 and stay there for several sessions or more and just keep staying there. With that, you're often accompanied higher moves. You do get breaks along the way typically, and there's a way to play those, but that's what I show you in my morning subscriber video. In the S&P NASDAQ, same thing. If we take a look here, notice how the market's staying over the 80 level. It was flirting with it over the past 48 hours of trying to lose it, but it did not. The QQQ also held up very nicely, and the market, like the S&P, right into the resistance of the upper Bollinger Band. I'm a broken record here in the sense that you're at the Bollinger Band in the Dow. That's what's holding the markets for the moment back, and you are overbought in the Dow, unlike the S&P. and the NASDAQ. And in the Russell, you are overbought. You are up to the upper Bollinger Band and fighting that battle. But we recognize, and I know you know that if you watch me regularly, back here I said, you know something? I think something's changing in the market. And I recognized it right here when this finally, we got a crossover of the 18 over this key average, and I just said that's the game. Now what's happening is people are looking at the lower price stocks and saying the big price stocks have gotten away from me. I'm going to start jumping on the lower. And they've been doing that, and now you're getting the meme boys coming in, and they're buying up stocks that sometimes you never heard of, and all of a sudden you see CNBC. It's up 50%. It's up 100%. You know, these are the things that happen. The DAX had to make a decision. Yesterday, we were talking which way. If it broke down, I want to show this. Had it broken under this low, and we can come here and I can show you what I mean. Had the market gotten under this low, I thought maybe you can get to the lower Bollinger Band. If it didn't, and you have no trend here, remember you have this the market fighting a battle. Which way can it go? It didn't have higher highs or higher lows. If it gets over this number right here, yesterday's 2 days ago high, then the upper Bollinger Band comes into play. So today was the key day for the number. Which way was it going to go? And you can see it. Once it cleared that, it just kept moving to the upside. So again, bullish news here. I think that what's going on is the market's realizing it doesn't benefit the EU to fight with the US over these tariffs. The tariffs are going to come. They're not going to be able to stop it. And there's no way Europe's going to be able to hurt the U.S. on a comparative basis. We can do a lot more damage. I'm so anti talking this way because these are all America's trading partners. But Trump believes that, and he believes that they can give up more and open their markets. And that part I agree with him on. So I do look for it at the end of the day to happen, and I think they'll end up with a package that could be similar to Japan, which would be great for us and for them. Everybody's going to pay more. You're not getting away from that. Understand what the president's doing. He's resetting world trade, and he's helping to pay for all his tax breaks and so on by, in his mind, these tariffs, okay? And I'll leave it at that. When we take a look at the bond market, you're void of a trend. You have a higher high and a lower low in the market. Same thing going on in the 5-year note. Higher high, lower low. I don't see anything to do with that. Same thing in the dollar index. You had this phenomenal rally ending the bear break from all the way up here, and that might have been it. You might be ready to, after a week or so more of this, maybe be able to make a decision which way does the dollar want to go from here. Right now, I think you can flip a coin. In the eurocurrency, a lower low, higher high, and the resistance is the upper Bollinger Band if you can get there. I've mentioned to you a couple of days running that I thought the pound might be able to get back to the 18-day average of closes. It did it today, and this is like you ring a bell. Now which way? The market is, in my opinion, not a buy to buy it up here and put a stop under the most recent low. That makes no sense to me. In Bitcoin, as I said, when you lost the bullish embedded reading, I wouldn't be surprised to see price meet the 18-day average of closes before you get over the highs that you made on this day, right here, right up here, and that will be the key. But notice what's really happening. Instead of a price break, you have sideways action, letting that moving average try to catch up to price. So it's not going to happen much by price falling apart. Rather, it's going to happen by the moving average moving up to the price, I think. In the crude, I still see a bearish market, but look at how you've narrowed in these Bollinger Bands. I mean, this is radical. And from there comes a big move eventually. I mean, a big move. So we'll see which way. It's the same way in the WTI. The gasoline market is down, oversold. I don't think there's a lot of downside right here in between the 100-day average and the Bollinger Band, but there's absolutely no reason I see to even try the long side. I can see short covering right now happening, and that's about it. And in natural gas, they can tuck all the heat they want with this hot weather. You're at new lows for this move. Yeah, this is important. Take a look where you're at. You're under all of this behind you. So still very much a market that just caught traders with these, what I call vertical two moves. impossible to trade off of. And half the thing in trading, people don't realize what trading's always about. It's often, and I want to use that word very clearly, it is often about knowing when to put your hands in your pocket and doing nothing. And that is the difference often between winners and losers. You don't have to be in the market every single day or every single minute. We teach a lot of this in our futures trading kit and the other reports we put out. At the top of here, you'll see icons. Give them a click, join us, take some of the free offers we have, or go to the website and sign up for the morning subscriber video. It's like a club. As I'm away on vacation, I'm starting to think of more things I can do to answer questions. And maybe what we'll do is have a mail-in bag where you can mail me questions each day, and I'll try to answer them for you while we do the morning video. I'm really thinking that through. I'm Ira Epstein. You have yourself a good evening, and I'll catch up with everybody tomorrow. Take care.